Hey, Dawn.
Is it true about Rolo?
Yeah, he didn't come home last night.
I wonder if it's connected.
Connected to what?
I was checking in on reports about increased activity around town.
What sort of activity?
Windowless trucks, mechanical noises, strange lights. Your typical shady stuff.
Who would be doing all that and why?
Well, I have a few leads. The Valentine family is always suspicious. Perennial Harvest certainly has the resources.
Do you have any idea where Rolo could be?
The best place to start looking is where the trail went cold. Where'd you see him last?
We were in Weepwood. Right by Valentine's fertilizer.
I'll check out Weepwood when my shift ends. I do my best work at night.
Jeff's hardware closed down about a year ago. The effects of the foul harvest stretched wide. When there are no crops in the field, tractors don't need fixing. The Valentine Mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally. After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town.
Dang, they put it up the way in. Property of Valentine Fertilizer Company. Looks old.
Hi, Luca. What's up?
You haven't seen Rolo around recently, have you?
He doesn't come around here much. Not since the man ruled that he could only order decaf.
Kato volunteered at the library during the summers. He wasn't very social, so he'd dedicate each summer to becoming an expert in a single subject, making him a reliable source of very particular knowledge. If you were to ask Kato something he didn't know, he'd escape into the dusty old bookshelves and return with just the right thing.
Hey, Kato?
Kato was lost in his reading. Luca crooked his neck to see the title, Introduction to Melitology.
Ahem.
Oh, hey Luca, you snuck up on me.
Good book?
Dunno, just heard it.
He gestured to the shelves.
I'm really running out of books I haven't read yet. So now it's on to the wonderful world of bees. Turns out, bees are pretty cool. For instance, did you know that around 70% of bee species actually live in underground tunnels? Or that if there are two queens in a hive, they will fight to the death for supremacy?
That's interesting, but, you haven't seen Rolo around recently, have you?
Not since yesterday.
Keep an eye out for him, okay?
Sure thing. If I see him, you'll be the first to know.
Hey, Jace.
Oh, hey, Luca.
Did Rolo come by? No. I was actually surprised. He's usually here early on days when a new issue drops. Rolo's the biggest Hank Atomic fan I know. Besides myself, that is. Well, if he does swing by, tell him to meet me you-know-where. I don't know where. No, he knows where. Oh! Roger that, Space Cadet.
There were rarely any actual new additions. Simply a variety of existing content rotated into the front display each week.
Not fooling anyone.
What sort of monster puts candy behind a locked door?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Nuncreed works weird hours sometimes.
Of course he does.
How about you?
When do I work?
No, what's your name?
Luca Van Horn. You new here?
Yep, not by choice.
Beck's family moved often, giving her little time to establish any real connections. She would tell you she prefers it that way.
I'm looking for my friend Rolo. He didn't come home last night.
So he's missing.
I guess so.
Like, missing? Missing? Does that sort of thing happen a lot around here?
Luca shifted his feet uncomfortably.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. So I should probably get going.
Hey, wait up.
What?
Beck pulled a coin from her pocket.
I'm coming with you.
What?
So says the unlucky penny.
Unlucky?
Yep. Well, technically it landed on heads. Leave this kid to find his friend alone. But I always do the opposite.
Oh, that's kind of like me and Rolo. I guess Rolo is my unlucky penny.
That settles it. A person should never be without their unlucky penny. Let's go find him. The name's Beck.
Pleasure to meet you, Beck. I suppose I could use some help. Try to keep up.
Luca felt a chill as he approached Beck. Her eyes were locked on the strange green liquid. The nearby grass was coated in a fine layer of frost.
Is this sort of thing normal around here? Because puddles of glowing ooze are definitely not what I expected from this place.
I have no idea what this stuff is.
Well, the next obvious step is science.
And what does science suggest?
Hook it with a stick.
Luca watched as Beck dipped a broken tree branch into the goo. Beck's eyes widened as flowers grew from the dead wood. First small buds, which quickly bloomed into vibrant petals.
What the?
Cool.
As quickly as they had grown, the flowers began to shrivel and turn gray. Beck dropped the stick with a grunt of disgust.
Okay. So the science tells us this gunk is weird as hell.
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
Hey, Tish, look what the cat dragged in.
Yup. I don't have time for this right now, Iggy.
Aw, don't say things like that. It hurts Tish's feelings. Ain't that right, Tish?
Yup.
She looks fine to me.
Why, hello. I don't think we have been properly introduced. Iggy's the name. This is my compatriot, Trish.
Yup.
You've probably heard of us.
Can't say I have.
I'll forgive you just this once, on account of you being new around here. Why would you hang out with this dud?
Oh, he seems pretty alright.
Iggy, why do you have to be so... you?
Has he even told you that his parents skipped out on him?
Shut up.
It's true. They got tired of having such a pathetic kid and left him.
Iggy, I'm only gonna say this one time. Don't talk about my family.
Well, look who's grown a backbone now that the Goyle's around. First his pops croaked. Then his mom finally couldn't take it anymore and bounced.
Iggy took a step towards Luca, his sneer lit by the glowing puddle. Beck could see tears welling in Luca's eyes, his fists clenched. Some things about Beacon Pines were very different from the city, but a bully from a hayseed town is really no different from a city bully. Beck took a deep breath and thought. Well, time to bust out the tickles.
Hey Tish, wanna see something cool?
Yup.
Check it.
Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under Tish's arms.
What the? Tish? Is she tickling you?
Yup. Yup. Yup.
Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she gasped for breath between gales of laughter.
Yup. Yup.
Beck redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had had enough.
Yup.
What just happened?
She seems nice. Sorry for the interruption. I think you were just threatening us.
Iggy's eyes darted around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered.
I just remembered. I have somewhere to be.
Mm-hmm.
See you around, new kid.
Iggy kicked at the puddle before making his escape.
Whoa. What a little creep.
Beck, I think you've got a little ooze in your hair.
Beck shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could.
Is it bad?
It depends. What are your feelings about having a more mature, refined look?
Oh, God.
Chapter 4. The Best Policy. Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess. Hopefully he could make it up to her, but finding Rollo was his primary concern.
Luca, what the hell are you doing out here? And why did a kid with gray hair just run past us in a panic?
Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
That's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? We were just helping look for Rollo. Luca, I need you to start telling me the truth.
Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling. But this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of time.
In a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Rollo and I were just playing Wheat Wheat yesterday. We were investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse. But someone was there in a strange suit. And we hid in the dumpster, and a heavy bag dropped on us. And I think it was a body. And so we ran, but we got split up. And I ran home. And it's all my fault. And now my best friend may never come back. Wow. Wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
It's not your fault, Luca. Rollo's gonna be okay, I promise.
Roxy drew herself up.
I'm gonna fix this. Luca, go home. But I want to help. This is too dangerous for a kid. I can't just sit around. I have to do something.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
You go back to that little tree house you tried to play in. Wait there in case Rollo shows up. Sound like a plan?
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. You really believe his story? What other option do we have? Things have been strange around here, leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird lately. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies.
Mr. Nuncree jumped with a start.
Oh, whoa. Don't sneak up on an old fella like that.
Sorry. Who are you talking to?
What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh, no, no. I was just checking because I thought I heard a ring. But the dang thing never does, of course.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, really.
The whole thing is a waste of money if you ask me. Ain't a word from Rolo yet.
Not yet.
Long time for a boy to lose his way.
Rolo knows those woods too well to get lost.
I suppose you're right. Silly boy's antics have this whole town worried sick.
Antics?
We all know Rolo likes to play his little pranks.
You think this is a prank?
What other possible explanation could there be?
He's not playing a prank, he didn't get lost. Someone took him, I know it.
How would you know that? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know?
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Dang it, boy. If there's something you know, something that can help find your friend, you need to tell folks.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him. There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rolo, maybe he could help.
Yesterday, Rolo and I were messing around at the old Valentine warehouse.
Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you? You were with Rolo when he went missing.
Not exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster.
The dumpster? What were you doing in there?
At first, we were just looking around. Then someone in a strange yellow suit came and dumped something on us. We both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him.
You got scared by some garbage? Well, that's why you don't go skulking in someone's dumpster.
But it wasn't garbage. I think it was a body.
I'm sure it was just some trash.
No, there was a name tag. It said Deep Engineering.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
A deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
Why did you have to? I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you safe.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
But you Van Horns just can't help yourselves, can you? We were all so close to being done with this.
With a firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
What are you doing?
It's out of my hands now.
The door latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
Shit.
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end. Wait. No, this isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.